Good morning, lovely people, or whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you're doing well. Um, just here to talk about some reflections from the recent Balsamic moon in Aquarius. I had a little crazy experience and just want to share some insight if anyone else had some chaos, because this was technically still an eclipse season, so it might have been chaotic. Or I just want to share some reflection themes for the next time you might experience a Balsamic moon or an Aquarius moon. Because if you don't know what a balsamic moon is, it's basically the stage right before the new moon. It's like the few days where the moon is very hard to see as well. It's like, let's say about 3 to 4 days. But basically, it's time to like compost structures and like composting and like put away structures for new comings with a new moon, new intentions. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Pluto, and this kind of segues just perfectly to Aquarius. It was an Aquarius because we just had the Aquarius full moon back in the eclipse, if you were there. Wait, no, that was Aquarius new moon. The Aquarius moon, I forget, back in February. But basically, now we just had the Balsamic Aquarius moon, and that was also conjunct Pluto, which Pluto's in Aquarius if you didn't know. So we'll be having these themes for the next over a decade and a half. But essentially, came back to Rochester immediately, back in spring break, and had the relationship now for the past 2.5 years. So I hang out with this guy. I've used edibles, weed, on and off the past few years, and I was before honestly a high functioning stoner. I've been using less lately, but I've been at a point now where I'm like cutting it off completely. This experience kind of just heightened that. It's sad with like Jupiter exalted in Cancer, like being an exalted house guest, so pampered, so taken care of. That can also correlate to just like having an abundance of opportunities of libations, but you have to be aware to turn those stuff down and make conscious choices. But I've only done edibles because I was more concerned about my lungs in the past. I was like, okay, I just want to try smoking a joint for one time and see how that goes. And that was fine. Good experience. Had a great evening with my partner. Just chill. We played a game of pool, relaxed. Got shamrock shakes. It was almost St. Patrick's Day. And then later in the evening, when I was tired, close to going to bed, and I should have just gone to bed and said no, he offered me a few like little popcorn edibles. They were like 2 milligrams each. I had like 4 in total, so it wasn't a crazy amount, but I realized I shouldn't have it retrospectively. So that led me being woken up by the Balsamic moon like between like 3 and 5 a.m. laying in bed next to him, just sitting there kind of paralyzed, dissociative, having so much mental anguish in my head, like replaying things and being so angry just because brain has such a confirmation bias and it just feeds on the patterns you give it, and it just kept going relentlessly. And I was kind of like upset about the relationship I'm in. I was like, what am I doing with my life? And I was overthinking it a lot, and this is probably not the best trait I have, and I've been working on it in therapy, where it's just like I'm a wallflower, and like that not taking initiative or not speaking up and just letting things slide. Like we went for a walk the next day when I was hungover a little bit. And I kept like thinking the Taylor Swift quote, "Oh, my face was gray, but you wouldn't admit that I was sick." It was like, yes, okay, now you finally said something. Thank God. It took us this long to get here. But Andrew, maybe you're the problem because you didn't say anything sooner. So that was bad. So I was really unsure about that experience just because it was so melancholic, tense, stressful. And it was so bad, and I was overwhelmed, and I thought I was gonna like break up with my partner very soon. And it was so bad the next day, that afternoon. I was stressed. You know who I called for advice? I didn't have many people in my life. So I've been a foot prostitute on the low, if you know what I mean. So I had to call my sugar daddy for advice. He's a Gemini, very open, very understanding, very smart, so compassionate. But it was so bad, and that eventually, the Balsamic moon destruction part here ended up cutting things off with my sugar daddy. Foot prostitution. feet pics for days. I'm sorry, but I ended up breaking up with him, because I realized my other partner was okay with that financial obligation, not obligation, but opportunity. But it was just, oh my God, I'm not used to speaking this early, or speaking this much in general. So I need to use my voice more. Who likes a raspy old voice? So I ended up having a call with him, and he basically realized, like, I never actually fully gave my other partner a chance. And, like, he knows how young I was, and, like, he didn't want to hold me back from my youth, in a sense. And, like, that's why we've been very open sometimes, and also been an open relationship in that regard with prostitution. But I ended up breaking up with him and stopping that, quote, sex work, I guess, and just now focusing on monogamy with my partner, and really seeing if I give myself fully, can this relationship thrive? Can I give abundantly? And yeah, sorry that was a mess, but so I'm basically it was just chaotic composting. Like, and my sugar daddy, and I was stressed financially because Jupiter is in my second house. You'd think it'd be going well, but I actually did just get another opportunity for work over the summer, which I'll definitely be documenting this summer. My summer abroad, where I get paid to do chemistry research again. So that's very exciting. But yeah, the Balsamic moon in Aquarius was very intense. Just paralysis, so much destruction. It felt like thought I was gonna end 2 relationships. Only ended 1, and was able to come out with 1 that's doing much better. So just wanted to give you some thoughts on that recent timeline that we just went through. What are your relationships to the recent Aquarius moons, now that Pluto is conjuncted, whenever that happens, or just the Balsamic moon in general? I know some people have like a ritual, like, goddess practice for the Balsamic moon, and I respect that. I definitely want to grow my practice more, but I'm just curious what everyone else's thoughts are.